Rising tensions in the lightweight class, especially between two competitors, Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Keyshawn Davis, are now enthralling the boxing world. The sport is on fire after Keyshawn's recent knockout victory, especially after he loudly challenged Tank Davis, saying, "Hey Tank, knock knock." It was the result of years of developing enmity between the two, which has been expressed on social media, in interviews, and now in the ring. This was more than just a display of bluster. Terence Crawford, one of the sport's top champions and a close friend of both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, has been among the most outspoken members of the boxing community in response to the intense debate surrounding the rivalry. Recently, Crawford sparked controversy on social media by accusing Tank Davis of being afraid and encouraging him to stop dodging fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. Crawford said it was time for Tank to show his mettle and take on the best opponents. Many people are wondering if Tank will be forced into a fight he doesn't want to be in because of Crawford's remarks. The situation is far from straightforward, though. One of the biggest names in boxing and a famous knockout artist, Tank Davis, has little need to be alarmed by Crawford's remarks. He has continuously shown his superiority in the ring and is aware of his opponents. Therefore, even if Tank may feel embarrassed by Crawford's remarks, it's unlikely that they will persuade him to face a rival he doesn't consider a real threat. In contrast, Keyshawn Davis has undoubtedly established himself in recent months, winning a spot in the WBO lightweight championship after defeating Dennis Baroni in the 4th round on Valentine's Day. The boxing community was rocked by the knockout, which increased speculation about a possible bout with Tank Davis. After his victory, Keyshawn didn't hold back when he called out Tank, indicating that he's prepared for the hardest boxing challenges. Though many doubt whether he's really ready for Tank, his most recent performance solidified his status as a rising star in the lightweight class. Following his triumph, Keyshawn's self-confidence skyrocketed. Brian McIntyre, his trainer, has stated time and time again that he believes Keyshawn Davis would eventually unseat Tank Davis as the WBA lightweight champion. As he continues to assert that Tank's rule is ending, McIntyre's audacious remarks mirror Keyshawn's own confidence. Tank, however, doesn't seem to care. He doesn't want to assist anyone make a reputation for themselves, especially not warriors who haven't demonstrated their abilities to the fullest degree. When Crawford implied in a harsh article that Tank wasn't aiming for greatness but was instead focused on generating money, it was one of the most important moments in the lead-up to a possible altercation between Keyshawn and Tank. Crawford has long insisted that his desire for greatness is his main driving force. He is hoping to advance to face Canelo Alvarez. Tank has always been a businessman, though, and has prioritized making sure his career is financially successful over pursuing titles for the sake of leaving a legacy. In actuality, Terence Crawford is not nearly as appealing as Tank Davis. Despite being an excellent boxer, Crawford has never attracted the same amount of recognition or financial success as Tank. Tank's remarks regarding going up in weight to face Canelo have sparked doubts about whether Crawford is genuinely driven by legacy or is just pursuing a huge salary. Crawford's most recent fight against Errol Spence Jr. attracted far less attention than any of Tank's fights. Conversely, Keyshawn Davis exemplifies a new generation of combatants. He is confident, hungry, and young. He is keen to demonstrate that he is capable of competing with Tank Davis. However, some have questioned if he is really prepared to face one of the sport's most feared fighters due to his relative lack of experience in the professional ranks. Although Keyshawn acknowledges that he's still figuring things out in the professional world, he has already demonstrated some of his talent and made a compelling argument for why he ought to be considered for a bout with Tank. Since they first sparred together as amateurs, Keyshawn and Tank have been developing a rivalry for years. These events have been cited by Keyshawn on numerous occasions as proof that he can compete at the greatest level. Keyshawn was a rookie fighter attempting to prove himself, whilst Tank was already a well-known celebrity. Keyshawn is currently a rising star in the lightweight division and has shown that he can handle himself in the ring and compete against elite opponents. Another issue is Shakur Stevenson, a lightweight competitor who has been connected to a possible bout with Tank Davis. Although unbeaten, Stevenson has been widely regarded as one of the best boxing talents. His lack of charisma and thrilling fighting style has prevented him from attracting the same degree of attention as Tank. Tank Davis, one of boxing's biggest showmen, infuses every bout he takes part in with excitement, charisma, and knockout power. While Stevenson has struggled to garner the same degree of attention despite his incredible talent, he has become a household name due to his ability to amuse fans both inside and outside of the ring. A battle between Tank and Keyshawn might bring in enormous sums of money due in part to Tank's ability to promote fights and draw large crowds to arenas. There would be a lot of trash talk, personal insults, and heated arguments leading up to the battle. Fans would swarm to witness a battle between Tank and Keyshawn because of their shared past and their hostility toward one another. It's a completely different matter whether Tank accepts the challenge. Tank's future is another important factor in this calculation. Tank's remarks about leaving boxing by the end of 2025 have sparked a lot of conjecture about whether he will retire anytime soon. Although it makes reasonable that he would want financial stability and a better work-life balance, his latest remarks suggest that he is frustrated with the sport. Tank has made hints that he may take a break to concentrate on his personal life and financial future since he is sick of the pressure that comes with being a boxing celebrity. Fighters like Keyshawn Davis may be able to replace Tank as the lightweight division's face if he decides to retire or take a hiatus. At the same time, whether Tank fights or not, his legacy is unquestionably intact. He has already made a name for himself as one of boxing's most formidable, captivating, and marketable fighters, and his influence on the sport will last for many years. He is among the most financially successful boxers in recent memory due to his prominence as a pay-per-view star, and his dominating performances in the ring will live on in his legacy. Keyshawn sees more than a title in the possible clash with Tank. His goal is to establish himself as the lightweight division's future leader. Although Keyshawn has already shown that he had the talent and mindset to compete at the greatest level, a matchup with Tank would cement his status as one of the sport's top fighters. Keyshawn would become the most well-known boxer in the world and usher in a new era of lightweight champions if he defeated Tank Davis. Keyshawn's belief that this moment is imminent and his readiness to take the required actions to bring it to pass are evident. Regarding the division itself, things are evolving quickly. Tank Davis's reign as the uncontested top dog might be coming to an end, particularly if he decides to retire from boxing soon. The next generation of fighters who are prepared to take over is represented by Keyshawn Davis and other up-and-coming talents like Shakur Stevenson. There will soon be a change in power in the lightweight category, which has long been one of boxing's most thrilling and talented. The rivalry between these two boxers is far from done, regardless of whether Tank Davis chooses to take on Keyshawn. Fans would eagerly await their possible altercation because they are both driven for achievement. Boxing is ultimately about heritage, character, and the drama that takes place both inside and outside the ring. It's not only about titles. Fans must wait and watch what happens next for the time being, but one thing is certain: Keyshawn Davis is here to stay, and the lightweight category is set to get even more intriguing.